5 of the 2011 NASCAR Canadian Tire Series on TSN. The field lining up for the second restart of the afternoon here in the streets of Toronto 100. Your leader is the 27 of Andrew Ranger with Scott Steckley filing to the inside. He will restart in the second position. The VTEC free pass this time going to the 03 of Eli Arsenault.
Up through the gearbox. Here we go one more time, heading for the Princess Gates.
18 laps to go here in Toronto, and Andrew Ranger will hang on to the lead, but look at J.R. Fitzpatrick to the inside of the 22.
It's a drag race up the backstretch, side by side, the 22 and the 84.
And it looks like Fitzpatrick will come out on top, and now Steckley has to deal with the Beyond Digital Imaging 02 of Kerry Mix.
Utilizing the draft down the backstretch. Kerry Mix takes a look, but thinks better of it.
And the field fanning out in behind the 42 of Peter Klug's having a great day, playing inside the top 10 all afternoon long as we ride on board with the 21 of Jason White, who's up to 12th.
Side by side, Dilly and Klug, that is for 8th spot.
And look at this rubber buildup on the inside and how loose these race cars are getting. We talked about how hot it is here today, but wow, these cars look to be a handful.
Well, rubber on rubber is usually pretty good traction, but when you got this much sunshine out there, it just greases it right up.
And the 60 of Ron Beauchamp Jr. takes the position away from the 42 of Peter Klug. Those two have a history back at Mosport. They got together in the dying laps of that race, and Ron Beauchamp Jr. not too pleased after the checkered flag in that one.
Here we are down the front stretch one more time. Buck down to the inside defending. There's that red car back there. He's hard. That's the Lapsevich automobile. He's going to get the spot from Dilly.
And we've already hit the Tim Hortons halfway update. And that man, the 23 Jeff Lapsevich, is your hard charger on the afternoon so far. He's up 20 positions.
Well, he's no stranger to the road course. He's done a lot of road racing in his history, and he's certainly shown it here today.
Gotta give a shout out to the number 9 of Mark Dilly. He's having a great run, the Leland Industries Dodge. He's currently following a road race ace, we like to call him, the 23 of Jeff Lapsevich, who's very, very strong at all the road courses we go to. But Dilly is having a great run, and here's a couple of Westerners battling together. The 14 of Van Omselaar and the 44 of Jared Whistle.
Well, they got playing bumper tag down the backstretch. Poor Kevin Dowler sitting there logging laps, doesn't want to get caught up in it. That 3 car got damaged badly at Mosport. They can't afford any more broken race cars.
And off the pace is the Aaron's Dream Machine, the 00 of Kier Bork as he pulls out of the racing groove. You see the 5 Emco Dodge of Noel Dowler going by. And now we go back to the front. The 27 Andrew Ranger opening up a 3-car length lead over the rest of the field. You saw Buck duck way down to the inside. What was he doing there? He obviously wasn't close enough to make a pass.
Well, you take a look at the rubber marks down there in the braking zone. There's quite a few bumps, and if you hit them wrong, it shatters the rear tires. Down the inside is just a hair smoother.
John Ferrano in the 59 battling with the 19 of Brad Graham, who's also having a great run, not really known for his road race capabilities. We ride on board with the 04 of Dumoulin, who's riding in 16th.
Well, you see the sun reflecting on the windows there, making it kind of hard to see as they hustle down the backstretch.
So Buck tucks in behind the Castrol Dodge of DJ Kennington. Steckley now running in 4th position, chasing the 02 of Kerry Mix and the 84 of J.R. Fitzpatrick as the field starts to stretch out just a little bit.
Well, Andrew Ranger taking over where Jason Bowles was earlier, legging it out. He's got himself 6-7 car lengths on the 84 of J.R. Fitzpatrick.
And if you went to grab a drink from the fridge, you'll wonder where the 11 of Jason Bowles went to. He's back in 24th, still battling those motor problems or ignition problems, whatever it is. They can't quite figure it out, but he's stuck deep in the field. In 24th, we got problems. It's Van Omselaar around. The 99 of Derek White stops to avoid. That is in turn number 8.
Wow, the same characters at that same corner from a lap ago. This time, the 14 goes around.
So we'll have another look at it and see what happened. And it's Van Omselaar all by himself. Dexter Stacy hard on the brakes, and Derek White as well in the OCR Gaspar number 99. Slows to avoid. No full course caution. Just one of those local blue flags. Not even really a yellow flag. Just a, hey, heads up, there's something going on here. And we continue racing.
Well, Dave, what happens as these cars log laps, the fuel load comes off the back of the race car, making a little light under braking. The good guys, the guys that know how to dial in their cars, will reach up and crank rear brake out of the car as the fuel load comes off. If you don't, Around she'll go under braking.
And so Andrew Ranger in the P&H Solutions number 27 continues to lead with 20 laps in the books. Welcome back to Green Flag Laps in the streets of Toronto 100 for the NASCAR Canadian Tire Series. As Robin Buck again tucks to the inside, and he'll get back out to the racing line. But your leader continues to be the 27 of Andrew Ranger here on lap 22.
A lot of good racing back in the field still. You know, everybody fighting for every position they can get.
There's the Belmar Dodge, the 04 of JF Dumoulin as we ride on board. He's currently in 16th position, chasing the 19 of Brad Graham in the Holmar Plumbing Dodge. And Graham's having a really good run as well.
Well, Brad Graham, not known as a road racer, but he certainly is smooth, and he knows he only gets so many races a year. He can't beat up his equipment, and that'll just put you up front every time, being smooth with your equipment.
So back at the front of the field, things are starting to heat up behind the Beyond Digital Imaging Dickies Ford of Kerry Mix as we ride on board with the Castrol Edge Dodge of DJ Kennington. Robin Buck is just in behind. The Castrol Dodge is a battle of the oil companies for fourth spot between the Castrol Dodge and the Quaker State Dodge.
The Castrol kid against the big green machine from Quaker State.
12 laps to go. You can take a look at the ticker to see where your favorite driver is currently running here in the streets of Toronto 100, but everybody is chasing the 27 of Andrew Ranger.
Wow, you see that car pick up in the draft. DJ lifted lots early, keeping the car underneath him. He catches right up going into turn 3.
And Billy, we heard the drivers talking off the top of the show about brakes, how important it would be to save their brakes for this point in time, but is your brake pedal going all the way to the floor?
Well, if you're back in the pack and you're fighting hard and you know your car's not working the best, you've probably used up most of your brakes. The brake rotor temperature is through the roof, the fluid temperature is through the roof, and then the pedal gets a little squishy. These cats up front, their cars are working pretty good. So you see DJ, he lifted lots early, pumped the pedal a couple times and sets it in. These guys up front, they got no brake issues.
And how nerve-wracking is it when you think you might have brake issues going into turn number 3?
That's a scary moment. You look at that runoff ramp pretty seriously.
Well, Robin Buck is looking at the back end of the 17 of DJ Kennington pretty seriously here in the streets of Toronto 100, but nobody seems to be able to catch the 27 of Andrew Ranger. He's out front. Welcome back to round number 5 of the 2011 NASCAR Canadian Tire Series on TSN. Continuing under green here in Toronto, and Andrew Ranger, currently your leader. Second place is the Schick Hydro Chevy of J.R. Fitzpatrick, and back to third is your Castrol points leader, the 22 of Scott Steckley, again having one of those consistent runs.
Well, we talked about it right off the get-go of the show that Scott Steckley was a big picture racer, and we said that if everything went well, he'd be on the podium, and if it ended right now, he would be on the podium.
And we'll take a look at what happened just moments ago. The 23 of Jeff Lapsevich battling with the 8 of Don Thompson Jr.
Well, he just gently slides up the inside, muscles his way through on the inside. They don't touch, just great racing. Lapsevich knew where he needed to be to outmuscle the 8.
Up to 7th spot for the Tim Hortons Dodge. You'll remember the 23 of Lapsevich started way at the back because of an unapproved gear change, and that was the penalty for changing that gear. So he started at the back. He's moving his way to the front with 6 to go.
6 laps to go. Now we're getting down to the serious time where if you've got some car left, you better pull it out of the envelope and get at it.
Taking a look back through the field, there is Thompson and Dilly battling, and the 60 of Ron Beauchamp Jr. in the Mopar Dodge having a great run as well. Thompson currently running in the 8th position. And Mark Dilly just looking to finish well here today. He's had a rough start to the 2011 season. He needs a good run.
Well, Mark Dilly in the Rheem Dodge, not usually a fan of road courses, but they've prepared a really good automobile here today. He looks extremely comfortable. Not a lot of wheel spin. He's doing a great job. He's going to enjoy Toronto here today.
And Van Domselaar into the tire wall in the 14th car once again. And we'll have another look at what happened. He was trying to keep ahead of the 11 of Jason Bowles, and a little bit too much.
Wow, he just couldn't catch up with the back end of the race car and sticks at the tire barrier.
Not too much damage, but it looks like Van Domselaar's day will come to an end in pit lane. And this is a battle for 4th back in the front. And wow, Buck way outside the groove.
Wow, business is picking up. They're the 02, the 17, and the 66. They know it's time to go, and they're not going to give up any quarter right now. I just seen Buck overcook the corner. Not very many times you're going to see Buck make a mistake on a road course, but he had a little slip there and won.
There's the EMCO Dodge, the 5 of Noel Dowler, continuing to learn these tracks and learn these cars in his first season of the NASCAR Canadian Tire Series. On the 44, Jared Whistle around. He's in 19th spot, manages to refire. I don't think he caught the wall. If he did, it wasn't very hard. There's no real damage to the 44, but we'll have another look at it.
Oh, he just gets outside the groove, and not a lot of racing rubber out there. Plus, all the marbles build up in that corner, and around she went.
And Whistle got really lucky there. That could have been a lot worse, but he manages to refire and get going. Here is the Rockstar Dodge, number 3, driven by Kevin Dowler. You'll remember Jason Hathaway got out, a broken wrist, and Kevin Dowler still working his way up through the field. He's still a lap down, but currently in 22nd.
Well, you see Buck get down there so he doesn't have to go through the bumps, but it doesn't line him up well for the corner entrance. DJ Kennington continues to lead him off at turn 2.
And the P&H Solutions Lou's Barbecue, number 27 of Andrew Ranger, leads. As we take a look back through the top 3, J.R. Fitzpatrick and the 22 of Scott Steckley, they have quite a margin on the rest of the field. That battle for 4th really has taken its toll. Look at this gap.
Well, there, DJ Kennington losing the spot to the 66 as they head into turn 3.
So Buck moves to 5th position. The 17 of DJ Kennington now back to 6th. And this battling side by side has allowed the 02 of Kerry Mix to open a little bit of a breather.
Absolutely, but big picture racing. You got a couple guys in front of DJ that are in the points, the 66 and the 27, not in the points picture. Not so bad to finish 5th or 6th, DJ would think here.
Absolutely, and you come out of here with a straight race car as well. That's very, very important, especially with such a big field like we have. Today could be a real bad points day if you have a bad day.
Wow, the 21 sitting in a bad spot. That's the blind corner coming around the fountain, a very fast part of the racetrack. Jason White broken down.
So the A&W Bowers and Wilkins Dodge is stopped to full course caution, and that will set up a green-white check. You can see the frustration on White as he came into this one with 3 top 10 finishes. That streak will end here today in Toronto, but setting up for a dash for cash here in Toronto, Ranger, Fitzpatrick, and Steckley, your top 3.